Welcome and thanks for joining me for this full body interval workout. This workout will not only work every major muscle group in your body, but it will also elevate your heart rate so you can burn even more calories. We'll be performing each exercise in intervals of 30 and 60 seconds so you can go at your own pace. Don't worry about counting reps or staying in sync with what I'm doing. At any time, if you're feeling tired, you can take a break and start back up after you catch your breath. This workout is great for beginners and more advanced users. If you're new to Total Gym, start out low and slow. And if you're more advanced, kick it up a notch by raising your glide board. Modify the workout to meet your needs. I'll also leave links in the video description to all the exercises included in this workout. If you're unfamiliar with any of them, check out my short how-to videos for details on safety and using proper form. For this workout, we'll be using the two-piece wing attachment and the cable pulley system and the XL squat stand. If you don't own the larger squat stand, I highly recommend purchasing one. It's much nicer on your knees. I'll leave a link to it in the video description. I'll also be using the press-up bars down at the bottom, but those are optional. You can use your wing attachment when we get to that part. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up, which will help others discover my channel too. Let's get started.
Blast off, blast off.
We're going to start our workout with a quick warm-up. Squats are a great way to warm up before your workout. We're going to do these squats for about 60 seconds. When you're doing your squats, make sure you sink down as low as you can while keeping your tailbone in contact with the glide board. If you find yourself lifting your hips up off the glide board, just don't go down quite as low. When I'm doing the squats, I like to push through my heels. That's going to help activate your glutes and your hamstrings. Let's continue for about 30 more seconds. We're going to continue with the squats, but now let's add some giant arm circles to help warm up your shoulders. Let's reverse directions with those giant arm circles. Continue driving through your heels as you push away from your squat stand. Transition now into a toe out squat. So turn out at the hip with your toes angled towards the top corner of your squat stand and continue with your squats in this turned out position for about 60 seconds. If you like, you can add your arms back in, just crossing them back and forth over your chest. This is going to help increase your heart rate, warm up your body, and prepare yourself for the workout ahead. We're going to finish our warm-up with some jumping squats or some plyometric squats. Just lightly push away from the squat stand and land softly back down. If you don't like these plyometric squats, you can continue with a basic squat. We're going to start the workout with some single leg squats, so I am going to drop my rails down just one level. Make sure you use your safety pin and get back in position on your glide board. And I'm going to start out with my right leg, single leg squats for 60 seconds. You can place your free leg, or that left leg in this case, on the glide board. Just place your heel on the bottom of the glide board as you push through. Your right leg, make sure you're driving through that right heel. Again, that's going to help activate your glutes, your quadriceps, and your calf muscles. If you like, you could also extend that free leg straight out in front of you rather than resting the heel on the glide board. We'll continue for about 30 more seconds. Let's go ahead and switch now to the other leg, placing that left heel on the squat stand and driving through the heel to activate your glutes and your hamstrings. And I have my right leg extended straight out in front of me, but again, you could also rest your right heel on the bottom of your glide board. Let's switch back to that right leg. This time I want you to push through the ball of your foot. Keep your heel lifted off the squat stand throughout the entire exercise. By pushing through the ball of your foot, you're going to feel this more in your quadriceps. Let's switch over to that left leg, again pushing through the ball of your foot, keeping your heel lifted up off the squat stand throughout the entire exercise. Let's finish this segment of the workout with some single leg jumping squats. We're just going to jump from one leg to the next, alternating left to right. If you don't like these single leg jumping squats, you could go into a double leg jumping squat or back into that basic squat. Just do what works best for you and your body. Come on up off the glide board, and we're going to turn around into this prone position, lying face down on our glide board. Place your chest towards the top of the glide board, and we're going to go into some pull-ups for 60 seconds. As you pull up, lead with your elbow. You should feel your shoulder blades coming together on your back. Next, we're going to transition into a sprinter squat, so lower yourself down, hook your left foot on the bottom of your glide board, place the right foot on the squat stand and push away. Squeeze your glutes as you push away from the squat stand, and just rest down on your forearms. After we complete this sprinter squat series, we're going to transition into some chin-ups. So let's continue this for about 30 more seconds. Let's lower ourselves back down on the glide board with the chest towards the top of the glide board. With this underhanded grip, we're going to go into some chin-ups for 60 seconds. Let's lower the glide board back down. We're going to go into that sprinter squat on the left side. So pushing through the left ball of your foot, resting on your forearms, and hooking that right foot on the bottom of your glide board. To get our heart rate elevated again, we're going to do some plyometric squats. So flip yourself around on the glide board, and we'll go into these jumping squats for about 60 seconds. If these aren't comfortable for you, you can go into a basic squat. Let's come up off our glide board, lower your glide board down to the bottom of the rails. I'm going to drop down my rails a few levels. We're going to go into some hamstring curls. These are a little bit more challenging, so you'll probably want to drop down a few levels. In addition, we want to take off our squat stand. So we're going to do a combination here, 30 seconds of hamstrings and then 30 seconds of these incline sit-ups. To do the hamstring curl, you want to push your heel down into that padded surface and pull yourself up the rails. We're going to transition now into sit-ups. So I'm just going to start here with a basic crunch. So I'm lifting my head and shoulders up off the glide board. This is going to work your upper portion of your abs. And then now I'm transitioning into a full sit-up. So lifting my upper body completely up and off the glide board. You can either cross your arms in front of you across your chest or raise your arms straight out in front of you, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Okay, let's transition back into those hamstring curls for the next 30 seconds. That's one nice feature of the Total Gym. It makes it really easy to transition between exercises, so you can make your workouts really efficient and keep your heart rate elevated throughout the entire workout. Next, we're going to transition back into those sit-ups. So do whichever type you prefer. You can do that basic crunch or the full sit-up with your arms either extended out in front of you or across your chest. Carefully come out of the wing attachment, removing one foot at a time. We're going to prepare for our next round of exercises, which will be a cross cable row, the chest press, and the front pullover. So we'll want to remove our wing attachment. We'll be using those later on, so keep those handy. I'm going to go ahead and raise the glide board up and use my safety hitch pin. Let's attach our cables to the top of the glide board. And we're going to place our squat stand back in place for some more plyometric jumping after we do this round of exercises. So first is our cross cable row. So cross your cables before you take a seat towards the top of your glide board. Pull back, pulling your shoulder blades together. Make sure you're seated nice and tall with a straight back and your chest is lifted. Gaze up towards the top of your tower, and we'll continue this for about 45 more seconds. Let's get ready for the chest press, so release your handles. I'm going to lower my glide rails down a couple levels. Make sure you put that safety hitch pin back in place. Grab your handles. You'll be facing away from your tower, seated towards the top of your glide board with your cables underneath your arms, and then push away. We'll repeat this exercise for 60 seconds. If at any point these cable exercises are a little bit too much, you can spot yourself by placing your feet down on the floor, continuing with the exercise, just rocking through your heels. Next, we're going to transition to the front pullover. So pull your glide board up the rails, take a seat on the glide board, lie back, and then place your heels on the bottom of your glide board. Pull your arms over your head till your hands are about at hip level. If you like, you can also go into this wide version of the pullover. This is going to work the lats. All these pullover exercises work primarily the muscles of your back. If you like, you could rotate between these. Here I'm going into a narrow pullover, pulling my hands in towards the midline. So you could rotate between a narrow, a neutral, and a wide grip pullover. Let's release down. We're going to disconnect our cables from the glide board and go into some of those plyometric jumping squats again. So pull your glide board up the rails, take a seat towards the bottom of your glide board, place your feet on the squat stand, and let's go into those plyometric jumps for 60 seconds. By incorporating these short bursts of cardiovascular work into our workouts, it's going to help keep our heart rate elevated so we can burn more calories. Let's come up off the glide board. We're going to reattach our cables to the glide board. We're going to go into a series of exercises, some shoulder extensions, bicep curls, and tricep kickbacks. We're going to do each of these exercises for 30 seconds. So take a seat towards the top of your glide board, sit up nice and tall with a straight back, your chest is lifted, and then push back into these shoulder extensions. Exhale as you push back, inhale as you bring your arms forward. We'll do this for a total of 30 seconds and then 10-second rest and then transition into bicep curls. Next, we're going to transition to our bicep curl. So sit up nice and tall with a straight back. Your chest is lifted. Bend at the elbow and draw your hands up towards your shoulders. Keep your elbow stable throughout the exercise. Let's transition to our tricep kickback. So lie face down on your glide board with your chest towards the top of the glide board. You can cross your ankles, and we'll start our tricep kickbacks, pushing backs, exhaling as you push back, inhaling as you bring your arms forward. Make sure you're squeezing your tricep as you push back. We'll do this for a total of 30 seconds, and then we're going to repeat all 3 exercises. Let's come up off the glide board. We're going to go back into those shoulder extensions. So take a seat towards the top of your glide board, and we'll start in just a few seconds. Shoulder extension starting now for 30 seconds. We've got a 10-second break here. Then we'll start our bicep curls for 30 seconds. Starting our bicep curls now. Make sure you're seated nice and tall, your chest is lifted, your back is straight. You're drawing your hands up towards your shoulders and keeping your elbow stable. Let's move into those tricep kickbacks. So this time, rather than lying face down on the glide board, I'm going to go into this kneeling position. You could actually perform all 3 of these exercises in a kneeling position if you prefer. For the tricep kickback, you're just going to bend at the waist. Try to keep your back as straight as possible. Exhale as you push back. Inhale as you draw your arms forward. And we'll continue for a total of 30 seconds. Let's carefully come up off the glide board. Make sure you knuckle down on your glide board and then bring one foot down at a time. Let's disconnect our cable. We're going to go back into those plyometric jumps in order to get our heart rate elevated. We'll start our plyometric squats now for 60 seconds. Let's come up off the glide board. Let's remove our squat stand. Next we're going to go into some shoulder presses. So if you don't have the press-up bars like I have them here, you're going to want to attach your two-piece wing attachment to the bottom of your glide rails. We have about 30 seconds before we start our shoulder presses. So go ahead and get those wing bars attached to the bottom of your glide rails. If you need a little bit more time, just pause the video and you can start back up when you're ready. Let's get in position for our shoulder presses. So we'll lie face down on the glide board with our chest towards the end of the glide board. And we'll start our shoulder press now for 60 seconds. Let's prepare now for the core extension. So bring your knees down the glide board. Keep your hands on your press-up bar or your two-piece wing attachment. You'll push the glide board up the rails and then pull down using your low abs to pull the board down the glide rails. You should feel this not only in your low abs but in your back and in your glutes. You're also going to feel this in your shoulders as you keep yourself elevated up off the glide board. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, you can also place your hands on the floor instead of using the wing attachment or the press-up bars. To add a little bit of additional challenge, you can keep your knees up off the glide board. So pull that glide board in down the rails, but keep your knees up off the glide board throughout the entire exercise. We've got about 15 more seconds left. Okay, we're going to end our workout with another session of plyometric jumping squats. So let's put our squat stand back in place. Get in position on the squat stand. And let's start our plyometric jumping squats now for 60 seconds. That completes our workout, but stick with me for a few minutes more for our cool down. Let's attach our cables to the glide board. Grab your handles and pull your glide board up the rails. Take a seat towards the top of your glide board. We're going to go into chest expansion. So I'm just going to lean forward and let the cables pull my arms behind me. Lift my chest up. This will stretch out your chest, but also your biceps, your shoulders, your forearms. You can move in and out of this stretch as well.
Hold it just for a few more seconds. All right, let's come up off our glide board. Grab your handles. We're going to go into a toe touch stretch. So knuckle down on your glide board. Take a seat towards the bottom half of your glide board and then extend your legs out in front of you. We're just going to extend over our legs, reaching towards our toes. Feeling a nice stretch down the hamstrings and also your low back. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. You can come in and out of this stretch as well. So one more time, come out of the stretch and then reach towards your toes. Let's release that. Come up off the glide board. Let's detach the cables from the glide board. Next, we're gonna go into a hip flexor stretch. So let's place our left foot at the base of our total gym and place our right knee on the glide board and then just extend back, getting a nice stretch down the right side of your body. Let's go ahead and come out of that stretch using your core to pull yourself back up. Let's stretch out one more time, getting that stretch down our hip flexor and the right side of our body. Let's come out of that and we're gonna extend our front leg straight out so we can get a hamstring stretch. Just hold this for a few seconds. If you like, you can bring your other leg off to the side. That'll help you get a stretch also in your inner thigh as well. Let's release that and go over to the other side. Push the glide board up the rails, sink in with that left hip, feeling the stretch down the left side of your body. Let's come out of that and sink back one more time. Keep your shoulders down your back. Now let's extend that front leg straight out in front of us, flexing at the foot so we can get a nice stretch along the back of the leg. Let's release that. Let's take a seat towards the top of the glide board and we're going to just stretch out our shoulders and triceps. So bring your left arm across your chest, pulling gently with your right hand. Make sure you keep that left shoulder down. Now let's stretch out the tricep, reaching the left hand down your back and applying some gentle pressure on your elbow with your right hand. Let's switch to the other side, stretching out the right shoulder. And then the right tricep. Now we're going to go into a low back stretch. So let's take a seat towards the bottom of our glide board. Place your feet on the crossbar. Grab the top of your squat stand and then just extend your legs straight out. You'll get a nice low back stretch here. Let's release that and go out one more time. Let's release that. Bring the glide board all the way down to the bottom. Now we're going to go into a figure 4 stretch. So place your feet on the squat stand. I'm going to place my left ankle on my right knee and then just sink down. Place some light pressure with your hands on your knee and on your foot and you'll get a nice stretch on your outer hip and thigh. You can come in and out of this stretch, so come up and then sink down a little deeper. Let's switch to the other side. Sinking down, placing some light pressure on your right knee, feeling the stretch in your right outer hip and thigh. Let's release that and sink down one more time. Let's release that and come up off your glide board. We've reached the end of the workout. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with others. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos from David's Total Fitness.